Three, two, one, go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of FanView. And I know everybody must have been guessing where are we, what is going on. Is GB going to be allowed to do FanView again, given the fact that we've not spoken about Man City issues. I know you guys are waiting for us to talk about Chelsea, talk about the Premier League, talk about Champions League, but then we're here and we're very sorry that we've kept you waiting. We promised this show is going to be a very good and special show. We're going to try and talk about United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, and try and see if we can break it under 1 hour. Well, yeah, I'm here with two of my colleagues, GB and Jesse. Jesse, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me today.
GB, how are you doing?
I don't know. Because of what Nigeria is doing to everyone. I'm very sane. I'm okay. I mean, you guys will see my first. Yeah. That's because of Nigeria.
Yeah, so this weekend is the election, so please, we're urging everybody watching from Nigeria, if you are above the age of 18, please try and vote for the right candidate. We're not going to force you to vote for anyone, but please just try and go out to vote this weekend. But then let's talk about football now. Where do we start? We have a lot of things to talk about. GB, we've not heard from you since the Man City's allegations and everything. First of all, what was your reaction when you saw the news about it?
Yeah, right. So when I saw it, I think the same way everybody felt, like it was sudden. Most was doing about it. Well, it has actually been going on under the rug for 4 years. This case, and Premier League decided to file the entire charges on one day, and I think just suspiciously close to when the Premier League, UK decided to they were in the plans of appointing an independent regulator of the Premier League, and so I know this can be like a speculation, but it was looking something like the Premier League was trying to show that they can regulate themselves, they can clean up their house up after themselves without the need of an independent regulator having to come in. And all the charges came out one day, 100 of them, which naturally it shouldn't be up to 100, but the way it was just listed, and yeah, so a lot of those charges are very, very terrible punishments if they actually come out to be true. But I hope they aren't, and it's not like the first time something of such. This is maybe a little bit larger magnitude than the Champions League. Or I mean, this has happened before, and I trust I can get out of it. So.
Yeah. Okay, Jesse. So let's come back to you. We've heard some of the allegations, some of the reports that Man City cheated, Man City this, Man City that. If they are found guilty, let's get straight to the point. What do you think the punishment should be?
I'm going to speak as not in favor of GB because my friend. I think that as an independent football watcher, I would not like them to go unpunished if they're actually found guilty, because we don't know. These are all speculations. So if they're actually found guilty, I think the best and most suitable punishment would be really probably relegation into the next the bottom league. Maybe 2 divisions down, maybe. Because I mean it's 100 charges that they are being accused of. I think that if they just give them a minus point deduction at the beginning of next season, or the season in which everything has been concluded, if they just give them a point deduction, we all know what Man City can do. They will still qualify for top 4, probably. Or they might even win the league still. So I think it will not really affect them if they get a point deduction or a fine. I don't think it will affect them. So I think that them getting relegated will be more of a blow to them. So I think that will be an accurate punishment.
Okay, but do you think the Premier League is better without Man City, or do you think Premier League needs Man City? Because I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, okay, I'm meant to be saying, oh yes, they should get relegated and everything." But I feel like over the past few years, Man City has made the Premier League up their level, the other Premier League clubs up their level and everything. So do you think if Man City are to get relegated, the quality of Man City will be missed in the Premier League?
Yeah, surely. I think that like Pep being in the Premier League will be missed. But as like it's always said in showbiz, the show must go on. You have to like continue playing your games. You have to continue putting in good performances. So, and I mean, they are still like the remaining five out of the big six in the Premier League. So it'll be exciting to watch like all of them play and then challenge each other to see who can win the Premier League and even be able to challenge themselves harder when Man City gets promoted back into the Premier League.
Okay. GB, so on this situation, this last question on it. First of all, I want to ask, do you believe that your club is not guilty at all? Or
Yeah, of course. I mean, technically, we could defend ourselves. I mean, that's why it's going to be an independent commission to judge the matter. So, yeah, technically, if you can, because this is a quite complicated issue. Because if you actually look at it, the moment there are like issues are found with Man City's financial records, then the independent auditors that worked with Manchester City over the past few years, I mean, big companies like Deloitte, and these really, really big financial auditors, then they have to be brought out to court because then they have to show how they were able to audit financial records and not detect any doping or any irregularities. And then this is a kind of issue that brings about ripples. Like it's not just going to affect us; it's going to affect in so many ways. So I know, like as a normal Premier League fan or anybody in any other club would say, it's better for Man City to be relegated. I mean, if to a man you were talking about right now, I mean, I would say that, yeah, but we just have to really like the truth is, I believe that legally, like and to be honest, I'm going to say this unshamelessly. Shamelessly, I mean, you could legally get out of a case and not be entirely innocent, right? Like you could legally win a case and not be innocent. So yeah, maybe we are not innocent, but we could legally be out of this case. So I mean, yeah, and if we're legally out, then that's just it. So I believe we
I
could be
mean, FFP
legally.
love is evil.
yeah,
Yeah.
GB. Okay. What did you say, Jason?
I said them are FFP, they are working some,
GB.
I won't be surprised.
Yeah,
GB.
I'm with you. Yeah, of course.
Okay, so GB, Jesse, I'm going to come to you too with this question. What's your opinion on FPP? FFP, sorry.
So yeah, so this is FFP for you, right? So we actually say FFP is to limit spending and all of that, but I think what FFP does is to keep up those traditional clubs and make it hard for people that want to get into the game to really get into it. Because the problem is once you want to get into it, right, there's already limits. Like you cannot, because if you really look at it, these traditional clubs are at the top because of the kind of fan viewerships that they have, the sponsorship they're able to generate, the revenue, the access to their facilities right from time. And what FFP does is when you're coming new into the game, right, like trying to come into the club, like as a big club, you're not able to buy players, you're not able to build up facilities, you're not able to do so many things because your revenue has to match up to your expenses. And then if you're going to try to catch up, you cannot suddenly generate revenue from coming to be a Brighton to being a Liverpool all of a sudden. It's not possible. You cannot suddenly build up. See, if FFP was really, really rigid, would not have the right likes of Chelsea and Man City today. I tell you, competing. That's just the truth because the amount that Chelsea and Man City were able to spend in like 3-4 years and not just some players, to be honest, to develop their facilities, to develop their scouting departments, every department, youth, women, to develop the area. Because if you look at it, most of all these big clubs, when they're growing, there's influx of new ownership. They try to spend on areas surrounding the stadium, try to invest in the area, right? Try to make sure that the stadium, not just the stadium, the museum, the fan shop, everything is as invitational to tourists wherever you're coming from as much as possible. And what FFP does, it removes that possibility of you doing that. It keeps that traditional club there. Like that's just the way it is. And that doesn't mean it doesn't have its positive effect. But I think the way it's being done right now, it's not like totally equal. I would say the best way to probably do it is to allow this new club spend and then sort of put a kind of limit, like so that it does not like look way too absurd. But that's imposement. I don't know the word. Like imposing FFP really tightly. I'm telling you, you see more and more less of Chelsea and Man City in the nearest future. You would see more and more and less of that.
Yeah, I'm Jesse. Your opinion on it?
I mean, I think JB has said everything probably. Like if it's a question of if I'm in support or against it, I think I'm in support of FFP because it's helping to put like a lot of checks in football. But like I feel that a way to make it like more fair on like smaller clubs would be to like put checks like at specific periods of times. So let's say like if someone wants to come and take over a smaller club like Brighton, they'll be given like let's just say maybe 5 years, and then within those 5 years, that's when you can now like check like how well they'll be able to generate revenue with the amount they spent. I feel like to be more fair for like smaller clubs to be able to get business done. But I mean, GB has said everything. He has explained everything, and yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, just say one thing. Like, let's look at this right. Like, if you saw what Chelsea and Man City have done, I'm using Chelsea and Man City right now because they are the scapegoats of the Premier League in terms of oil money. I know you get
You
like
can
money,
just say Man City.
new
You can just say
ownership,
Man
and all of
City.
that.
You can say Man
Yeah,
City
because
all you.
no, like look how much you guys have spent.
No,
We
you
need
can
to
you
look at
can
it,
use your own
right?
club as example.
Okay, I will use just Man City. But if you look at like when Man City came out, right, like
Yeah.
they had to spend so much on new players, right, and do so many things. But in recent times, they don't do that anymore, right? Because they've been able to use sort of money to push themselves to such a stage that they're now able to compete for trophies, improve their fan base, now able to sell some of those expensive players at the border time, sell them for more expensive amount because they are now more regular, like world-class players. And now it's like the model is getting stable. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but
Yeah, that's not.
getting out there and pushing yourself like to compete, you might really need to spend like because to be honest, Man United and Liverpool and all, they're not going to stop making money. They're not. So I mean,
Okay.
I'm not saying there's no FF, like there shouldn't be FFP, but I mean, it should be done in such a way that it could allow small clubs. I
Yeah,
think
small
the reason
teams.
why other European leagues are not feeling it is because they are not actively aligning ownership by foreign guys. The moment they do, they start aligning foreign ownership, especially in a league like La Liga, align a kind of Arab to buy someone like Villarreal or Sevilla, sorry. And then Barcelona and Real Madrid are feeling the effect of money being pumped into the league. I think there'll be much more discussion about this. But because they're not aligning it, and Barcelona and Real Madrid are just so big, so big that the rest of the league dwarfs in comparison to their wage budget and all.
Okay. I think all of us should try and give our new person that just joined, K, a round of applause for topping the league. K, how are you doing, and how have you been
Which one
enjoying?
is round of applause? Round of applause for what?
How have you been enjoying the season? Okay. Now K is lost. Okay, so let's just continue. Now, okay, so we've spoken about Man City's distance, so let's try and move on to this Premier League season. I'm a United fan, so I feel like because I'm doing well, I'm going to be able to say, oh, this season has been interesting and everything. Jesse, how interesting has this season been?
I mean, if I'm speaking from the perspective of the Chelsea fan,
yeah,
it has not been easy. It has been very tough. Well, as a whole, I think that it started off, I won't say badly because Arsenal were top of the table for so long, but it has had like it has been slowly more entertaining week by week because now there's like an actual title race with the amount of points that Arsenal have dropped, even though they were 8 points above City. So like the amount of points they dropped. it made like the title race now look more feasible to not only Man City but even United as well. So yeah, it's actually very interesting this season. Now that it's, let's not say it's a 3-horse race, but let's say 2.5, because United are in and out of it in a way.
JB, I mean, recently we the one chasing, if you the one winning titles and everything. So how interesting has this season as a whole been?
I mean, interesting, yeah, sort of, maybe. I mean, I think the fact that is interesting is we are seeing really big teams mess up a lot, and like the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea especially, right? And we are seeing Arsenal topping the league, you know, and Man City just fluctuating, right? Like today look the best, tomorrow just I don't even understand. And then we are seeing the likes of Brighton and Newcastle and Fulham push themselves up, you know. So yeah, I think interesting, yes, maybe to some extent. I think yeah, it is. But for like competitive, maybe not. Maybe not, to be honest. I don't know.
I think I agree with you, because to be honest, I was looking at the table today and I was like, if Liverpool were firing and everything, it would be as usual, Man City, Liverpool, and then it would be more competitive. And it's not like I'm trying to disrespect Arsenal United now, because I just feel like this season has just been overrated just because the bigger teams have not been doing well. Kay, can you hear me now? Can you?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so Kay, how have you been and how have you been enjoying the season so far?
The season has been a roller coaster, kind of, because it has been actually I got so used to winning and all that. Like the past 3-4 games have been I was just like or more what I do. But yeah, it's good to get back to winning ways and all that. The season has been good. The season has been interesting, and I think I will like agree with Bola. Yeah, it has not been competitive like that, because Man literally came from nowhere, and now in a way they are in the title race. I was not expecting Arsenal to be anywhere being top of the league also, and I was not expecting Man City to be so far off in terms of performance this season also. So I feel like I was having another Leicester City kind of season, whereby the top teams are having one issue or the other, and someone that just try to just be consistent a little is going to be the one.
Don't underrate yourself. You're way better than Leicester season.
I'm not saying I'm not comparing myself with that Leicester team. I'm just saying that is how it's just.
I mean, they've already lost
not
more
like,
games.
No, like, bro, shut up. Like, you are not,
I mean,
why is JC Steve having this? Like, please, let's have this discussion of who are in the top half of the table. Please.
I'm in the top half. How do you like it? I'm 10.
And you are not. Are you? When you enter 10 back, if you enter 11 each time.
What 10? Don't disrespect my club.
Congratulations, leading from the back. Okay, so all I'm just saying, like, this season has been just more of that Leicester City kind of season, whereby it's a team that is like tries to like be consistent enough. It's going to be the one to win. It might still even be Man City. If Man City are able to like rack up 10 straight wins or something now, it might be something else I will not be able to cope with. And it just, I feel like this league is kind of that will be won by very, very little points, probably 2-3 points or something. That's what I just feel like, because anything can still happen. Though personally, I've watched this Man City for like past like 4-5 weeks. I don't see them racking up 10 straight wins or something like normal Man City would do. But still, you can't count them out. You can't say they can't do it. But like I told you, like after the match, I was speaking with I was chatting with GB, and I told him like, in as much as I'm scared of Man City, I told him that I don't believe this team are going to rack up together. And the next match against Nottingham Forest, they are unable to even get 3 points, even after knowing Arsenal already won their match. That the match is impossible for them. So I don't know. Arsenal might just be able to just make picnic at the end of the season. Just see how it goes. But the season has just, for me, from my own perspective as an Arsenal fan, it has been so enjoyable. Apart from the last 3 weeks, I want to debate the last 3 weeks. because it has been
1 point out of 9.
well, at 1 point out of 9. I even lost every cup match again, Man City. So I lost like in 4 games. I only had 1 draw. So it was tough. But the only thing that kept me going was like my performance in all the 4 games were not bad. So it's just things not going my way. So me getting the win, Aston Villa match, guy. If I had what is it called with me, high blood pressure machine with me, but the thing would be beeping because bro, I was just happy, sad like this. But it was a fun match. I think for neutral, the match was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
That's not fun. Interesting.
We'll come to that. But before we talk
So
about
that's just it for me. That's how the season has.
Okay, yeah. Before we talk about us now, let's talk about Chelsea. Jesse, what's going on at Chelsea? I mean, yeah, you guys. I can't remember last time you guys won a game in Premier League. So just tell us what's going on.
Against Crystal Palace. Yeah, I remember.
We beat Crystal Palace 1-0.
Okay, so what do you think the problem is at Chelsea, Jesse?
I don't particularly think that there's a problem, to be honest. I just think that in the words of K, the performances have been actually good. I'll say the only bad performance we've had was this recent game against Southampton. And I won't even say the full match because I'll just say maybe the first 50-ish minutes we didn't play very well. But from there we played like we started creating more chances and stuff. I just feel like there are just a lot of things that have not been going our way. Like you see, like the West Ham game, what happened. I mean, now we can make jokes about it, but in the moment, like you could see that it was a clear handball, and then they didn't give us like the penalty. Those little things. But overall, I just feel like I still have my confidence in Potter because like when he's able to like get everyone in the squad like playing as a team together, I feel like we'll be able to start getting results. I feel like the goals will definitely come when the whole team starts playing in unity because you can't just buy players and then put it into the starting lineup and expect to start scoring 6 goals every match. That's what people outside don't understand. We just want to criticize the manager. But like when a team starts playing together like very well, we are not having any injuries. We start like having a consistent starting level week in, week out. I think that we'll be able to start winning games properly. And let's fast forward to maybe the summer transfer window. If was able to get rid of a lot of deadwood in the club, players are not playing anymore. I feel like Chelsea would start like looking like a team that are challenging for titles. So yeah, even though about me having a lot of poor results this season, I'm not going to say I'm writing off this season because last when I checked the table recently, I think that Chelsea are not even that far off from challenging for the top 4 because Liverpool just won and now they are 3 points behind Newcastle already. I think it's 3 or 4 points behind Newcastle already. So that's how the table is this season. So yeah, I just feel like things are not looking like that bad, and I don't think that Potter should be sacked anytime soon. Yeah, that's basically it.
But now you've been the one saying we should back Potter and everything. What do you think is finding difficult mostly at Chelsea?
I think this has said very important. Like you really need like except you're a very top coach and like you are the top edge of the game. I mean by the top edge, I mean the Pep club Tuchel maybe Ancelotti type that you're able to like due to your pedigree, like get star players together and then get them playing so well, like so quickly. I don't think Potter like, and I think there has to be time because the number of matchups that, like, just look at the front and it's like Chelsea lineup sometimes like permutation and combination. Like, you can just say, how many times can I permutate between the attackers and see the first 3 that will start? You know, you can have Mudryk, Felix, Sterling, or I've forgotten Noni, or Mount. Like, just too many, right? And one thing is the underlying stat has shown that in the last like few games, Chelsea has like the second best defense in the league, to be honest. But one of the biggest issues that they have is scoring. And so for you to score, there has to be like very good attacking movement or the training ground. I mean, if you look at Arsenal play, you just sort of see that coaching in them. Like the patterns, the coaching patterns, the attacking patterns are just obvious. Okay, good. Like you need to have like individual qualities at some points beyond the patterns, and that's what Chelsea already has. So what is right now is how they all play together, like the combinations and being world-class players. At some point, it's just going to click if as long as there is time, there's consistency in the lineup and all of that. I think that's been one of the biggest issues. And Potter is at a club where you cannot afford to like it's just hard for the fans to be patient side. Like it's very hard, like very, very hard. And so there's pressure, right? And then you can see the pressure from the lineups because it's not trusting the lineup yet. It's switching things up like just too much. Because the pressure is there to keep winning and just find one winning formula as soon as possible. And that's been one of the issues too. So yeah, I think with time, but by time, I don't know how much of that time Chelsea fans want to give that guy right now.
I mean, we had a meeting today, and they still back him. So the Chelsea fans, they will always complain, but at the end of the day, when he starts winning, they always go back to his side. That's how football is.
Yeah. But just let me come back to you. There's something you were saying. You're saying that this new players coming in as to gel and everything.
Yeah.
So, like from what I took from that, from what you said, is it right to say that? I know Todd Bowley is trying to do well, but like, is it right to say that it was actually set up to fail? Because why bring in so many new players like that if the manager doesn't want those players? Like I don't know if the manager wanted those players, but like, don't you think it was too fast bringing in all those players and everything?
I don't. To be honest, I don't really think it was too fast. I think that Bowley was giving a hand of players that were left by Tuchel, and you could see that these were not really his style, his kind of players that were going to be put into the starting lineup and start giving him the results that he wanted. So I feel like he had a meeting with the board and he told them that these are the set of players that he wants. He has probably scouted them because a lot of the signings were made from, like, I won't say from thin air, but they're made as calculated signings. I think that is only the Enzo signing that was more of a star signing that he wanted to go after this particular star. I think the rest of the players were players that Potter wanted, I believe. So yeah, the fact that there are a lot of players in our club right now, I don't think it is really a factor because this is still like the beginning of the process. So I think that come the summer, that is when a lot of players will be like sold from the club. Then you will now start seeing like the first team players that Potter really wanted. So I don't think that it was like particularly bad the signings that we made. But yeah, I feel like it's just part of this beginning part of the process.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, what's your general opinion about Chelsea, and where do you think they'll finish this season?
My idea of about Chelsea is like it's just like everybody has been saying. If you sensible ones has been watching football without bias, like you will be lying if you say you're not seeing the improvements from this Chelsea team. Like at least from their past 3 games or so, they didn't deserve to like not come away with the 3 points, especially against Southampton. Bro, there are some chances like how is this ball not going in? They have been good. Seriously, they have been good lately. So I feel like Potters just needs a little bit of time. Not everybody will get it straight away. The way Penang is having it at Man U right now. Not everybody will get it straight away that way. So I feel like if he's giving time, to get his ideas across, and another factor is like I don't think he has been able to like put together his best 11 this season. There's always been one injury or the other. There's always like even when everybody comes back, someone will just be there that will see. For example, now everybody has been coming back now. Now James has gone back again, so he has been able to take out his best 11 this season. But I'm seeing improvements personally, even though I'm not happy to see it. But I can't ignore the fact like there has been improvements of the team. About where they will finish, I don't know. This season is very, very, gigantic. Let me just put it that way. This season is I don't know. Anything can just happen. I won't be surprised seeing them in one of the European places. Maybe not Champions League per se, but like there's every possibility of them making the Europa League or something. But I don't with the way they have like the way their performance has been with an upward improvement to I see them improving so much in the next 2-3 games, and who knows, they might just be able to like get into the European places. That is what I just think.
Okay. Jesse, so lastly on Chelsea, if you were in the board, if you were a part of the board members, what would be your target for Potter this season? Like what does he have to not do for you to say, okay, thank you very much for coming to Chelsea. We don't know how to do help.
I think that judging from the fact that he didn't even have the season with the players that he has right now, and for any manager, especially one that hasn't really had that much years in managing as much, and taking up a task of coming to a club like when after the preseason, mid-season, I would say it is going to be difficult. So putting that in mind, I think that there's nothing he can really do that will make me want to just like send him out of the club immediately. I think, except from relegation, obviously, except from relegation. And so I think if he's able to at least finish in a European position, then he should still be given time, and they should be able to observe him and see what we do from the beginning of next season. And then after maybe like from now, maybe in a year's time, then they can like judge and see how far the club has come, and then they can make a decision on whether or not to keep.
Okay, what if it doesn't make the European places?
Even though I think it doesn't really matter this season.
Okay.
Like I say, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's try and move to Liverpool. GB. Liverpool has won their past how many games now, and they had a very good performance against Newcastle. Do you think they are back to their normal ways, or are there still some concerns you have about them?
Back to the normal ways, I can't say, but sense of improvement, yeah, maybe. I don't think they're exactly back to their normal ways yet, because we all know the normal ways of Liverpool and the ceiling of Liverpool. But yeah, I think now like they're trying to so the tampering and the tinkering and everything that club has been doing, like has had to stop for a while now. And I think now they're like getting back to like getting the kind of core like team that has always helped them push through in previous seasons. So now they are like fielding the likes of Fabio, there's Jordan Anderson, and there's this young pathetic guy. It's regularly now in recent times. And I think Gakpo and Nunes are having a little bit more understanding and all of that. I think Van Dijk is back also, which is a very big boost for them. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're back to winning ways, but I think the win against Newcastle was a very good one. The win against Everton was a very good one. And yeah, I mean, we've seen Liverpool slump in the past, and they sort of one way or the other rumbled up to finish third. I can remember that season. And I don't think they will finish third now. But I mean, this season is just so weird that Liverpool is actually right now just about maybe 6 points behind Newcastle. And we still have like how many games left? Maybe 15. So I mean, it's still a long way from you saying they can't get into the European places, because they're like Newcastle is on 41 points. Liverpool is on 35 points, and Newcastle has played one game in hand already. Like stuff like this. So it's just that's why I said this season is not exactly competitive, but it's interesting, right? Because we could still see Liverpool just romp their way to the European places. I mean, so yeah, that's what I think. I don't think they're back yet, but I mean, we've been seeing more and more convincing performances, and that's just how it is. It's the league; they could go ahead and lose next game. So who knows? Wolves.
The next game is against next few games is I know Manchester United is
Crystal Palace. Crystal
Yeah.
Palace and Wolves. And then Man U. Now, I'll be eager to see that and see that Liverpool Man U.
the next few games against Crystal Palace, Wolves, and then United. GB, I'm sorry, K.
Yes.
Okay, so Liverpool, they've looked like back to their best and everything. And the next few games is Crystal Palace, Wolves, and Manchester United. First of all, I was going to ask, do you think it's possible for them to make top 4 this season? And if they were to do it, how massive do you think this helps Liverpool for next season? Hello? Okay, can you
Yeah,
hear?
I can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, did you hear the question?
So their next, yeah, I did. I feel like their next 3 matches is actually like the video test for them. Actually, like they'll be having from playing Madrid tomorrow, and they have to play Crystal Palace at the weekend, and they have to play Wolves midweek again, then Man U at the end of the week again. So like that is like 4 matches that will be very, very hard for them. So I feel like that is really the real test for them this season, because now people are like suddenly are expecting them to actually perform now from those matches, because they've had good results for the past few weeks. So people are now for some time now people are not expecting too much from them. But now people are expecting them to win the matches, so there'll be eyes on them. And I see them beating Crystal Palace, Wolves. I don't know about Man U. The Man U match will be very, very interesting. But they should be able to do enough to beat Crystal Palace, Wolves, and the likes. But then I feel like, yes, these few weeks, I think that will be 2 weeks now. This next 2 weeks will be the test for them. And concerning them making the Champions League places, I think they can very much do. Because for me, I feel like the only person they are competing with is Tottenham. I've always maintained it, even from when Newcastle were very, very hot, that I don't see them making the top 4. Yes, they will probably finish high, but I don't see them making the top 4. And we can see it already. They are now how many points behind? How many points now behind Newcastle for
6 points. 6 points. It's a game in hand.
So it's a game in hand. Them winning their game in hand. I think that game in hand is the one against Wolves. Them winning that and winning their weekend match. That is them having the same points with Newcastle. Right, Newcastle will have a game in hand, yeah, but still, get what I'm saying. Newcastle, I feel like the only person Liverpool are actually competing with, or anybody that's trying to enter that top 4, they are competing with Tottenham, not Newcastle. Because I feel like Newcastle, you see, if they should lose this weekend, and they'll probably lose the Carling Cup final, that can cause some kind of downward spiral for them. And before you know it, their next 3-4 games. I think they've not won anything than last 3 games now. They drew 2 and they lost against Liverpool. That is also how it is. I don't see Newcastle finishing there. So for me, the only person Liverpool or Chelsea will compete against for that 4th spot, Tottenham. And I don't see that Tottenham too as someone that will be able to hold it. And it will be very massive for Liverpool actually, because I feel like the way the season has been very, very bad for them. Them getting the top 4 finish is going to like give the team the kind of moral of like, yes, you can do this. Come next season, you can actually go for, you can go back to being us. They can do that next season. So I don't know. See them finishing top 4 very, very nice for them. And I actually think they can do it, because like GB said, let me use GB's word. This season is just how it is. Anything can just, and we still have 15 games or so left this season. This same season that everything has gone up, come down, and everything like that. So don't count them out. That is it. I always maintain it. So like you can't count Liverpool out of being in the top 4. Can't count them out. So let's just see what the next 4 games will bring for them. But if they are able to like come out on top of their next 4 games, then believe me, Liverpool are back. They are very much back. And we all know when Liverpool is back, they are a different kind of beast when they are back. So let's just see how it goes for their next 4 games.
Okay. So let's Jesse. Let's talk about Spurs now. They lost to Leicester 4-1 and they won yesterday 2-0. they've looking like on and off. What do you think the problem is? And do you think this on and off form, because I feel like this, do you think this on and off form will stop in the end time soon on, or what do you think?
I hope it does not stop when we play them this weekend. Definitely. Well, uh, I really can't say because since the beginning of the season, this has been the major problem of Tottenham. On and off. Even if it's like first 45 minutes, they've been playing bad, and the next they start playing well. There's always been one problem or the other. So this season, I really can't say how they're really going to like play. But I mean, at this point in time, they're still fourth on the table. So I feel like we should give them that much. Like they have tried being fourth on the table. So if they can keep it on to the end of the season, I'm not sure. I hope not, because that would mean that just are out of Champions League for next season. But yeah, I really can't see.
Okay. GB, what do you think the problem has been at Spurs?
Personally, I think Tottenham fans are probably overblowing the fact that they are in a bad position right now, because the season has just been so weird that despite the whole noise, they are sort of fourth, you know, and they are sort of having a season like with more points or close points to Newcastle. That has always looked like Newcastle has the best defense in the league anyway. Yeah, Tottenham are still there. So like it's just, I know he'll probably say this guy he always likes supporting Tottenham, but I mean, like looking at it, right? Like the crisis noise that people are making in regards to Tottenham, I think is just a little bit overblown, right? Because this is a position that Tottenham fans wouldn't care. I think the problem with Tottenham fans is like they're looking at their direct opposition, right? Which is Arsenal, and Arsenal is really, really flying at the moment, and they are sort of trying to use that to gauge themselves, measure themselves against Arsenal, which is very bad.
Yeah, but then, like I feel like the Tottenham fans, what they really want more is their style of football. Like Conte is not giving them that style of football. They look so defensive and everything. I think that's what is making them complain.
Yeah, I mean, it's written in the skies that Conte will never play beautiful football, right? I don't know what you're expecting.
Yeah, like which brings me to the question: Do you think Conte should be at Spurs next season if the fans are not going to accept the style of play and everything?
I think the big question is, who do Spurs fans think will come, get them playing beautiful football and get them winning at the same time? Do you think they're going to sign Pep? Do you know how many coaches rejected them? Like initially, right? Like Conte initially even rejected them. I think it was then I don't know, maybe better answers that would get the players.
Yeah, he rejected it because United wanted him. He thought United would come for him and everything, and then he went.
Exactly. So let's be honest to each other. Like Tottenham is like a second fiddle club. Don't let us just lie. Like among the big six, there is a category of smaller guys in the big six, and Tottenham is like in that category alone right now. Because they to be honest, like the only world class player that Tottenham has like right now, okay, I would say Son, counted. But right now, is only Harry Kane, because Son is a shadow of himself so far this season. So right now is Harry Kane, like it's been so exceptional and pivotal to whatever they're doing. And when you look at it, like if Tottenham is going to be better than what they are right now, playing good for football and getting more wins, that means they'll be in the top three. And the guys that are in the top three, Arsenal, Man City, and Man United, are literally competing for the title. So that means what Tottenham fans are probably thinking of is, if we are playing better than this, then we should be competing for the title. And that's far away from the standard of the squad right now. Tottenham squad, the title competing squad, being honest. And yeah, they could play better, but let's really think about it. But that means if they're playing better, they should be in the top three. And the top three right now, which is Arsenal, Man City, and Man United, are the ones that are competing for the title. So, I mean, it's been a weird season, like we've always said so far. I mean, that's why it's been like this. But yeah, that's just the truth. So I think Tottenham fans are a little bit overblowing it. I don't think they will see a coach that will come and give them performances and points like that. I don't know who they are looking for, to be honest. I
Okay.
would want to come to Tottenham too.
Okay. Kay, do you see Spurs making top 4 this season? Or do you think Liverpool will take it away from them?
Well, you guys have always known my reservation about Tottenham this season. I've always said they didn't improve the squad and all that. But still yet, they have Harry Kane, the best goal scorer in England. Yeah, sorry. No offense to Haaland. But the fact is, yes. So with that man alone, they should be able to do enough. But I'm not, like I said last time, I'm not counting Liverpool out just yet. But Tottenham should be able to do enough because they have the upper hand right now. They should be able to do enough. Yeah, they should be.
Okay. So let's move on and talk about United. Okay, I'll come back to you. You said no big team, no coach will be able to do the miracles that Ten Hag has been performing at United. How impressed have you been with him? Okay.
I've been very, very impressed with him because coming into the beginning of the season and getting them to play together as a unit right now after sending Ronaldo packing and all that, having them playing the best. Like most of United's players like this is the best football they will ever play in their career. Like I don't think any of them can get better than this right now. He's getting the best out of most of them. So yeah, I've been very, very impressed with him. I'm very, very impressed. He has been able to manage the tools he has. So he has been very, very good. Yeah, I'm very, very impressed with him. Very, very.
Yeah. GB, what's one thing that you've been impressed about that? What's the thing that you think he has done and you're like, wow, you didn't believe he'll be able to do it this season?
I think if it asked me, I would say it's getting the perfect slot for Bruno Fernandes and Rashford, like at the same time. So what I've seen is, and being able to handle the fact that Casemiro is like such an important player for Man United, but he just gets himself like sometimes in situations that he gets to miss games, and then it's sometimes looking like there's an over reliance on him. And even if he's not in the side, in recent times, the team is still playing exceptionally well. So that shows the coaching is well spread out across the team, where one player particularly. Now, one player can influence the team because I mean, a player of Casemiro's quality is so important to how Man United play. And I think over a longer period of time, you start seeing a difference between him being in the side and him not being in the side. I think in the short term, it's quite good, like, and it shows good coaching for you to be able to bring in a player like Sabitzer and probably where Ghost and still be able to have the squad playing well together. I think you've seen the like of Wan-Bissaka and even Malacia even showing different aspects to their game. And I think the most impressive thing with like the most impressive thing of the Nigeria so far, all of us can see, I think is Rashford, right? Rashford is such a different player right now. Like looking so much a different player, so dangerous right now. I would say he's the best player in the league at the present moment. Himself and Saka, to me, I think like so much of a difference right now. And moving Bruno Fernandes to the right wing in the absence of Christian Eriksen has also been a brilliant move because you have that guy always trying to like, force the pass. No, I don't want to say force the pass, always to be the one.
Yeah.
Get the pass that breaks the line, get the pass that is the assist, stuff like that. And they've been able to occupy that is, movement and all that to the right wing and also allowing Sancho to come deep centrally, allowing Weghorst to even sometimes play as a 10 behind Rashford. I mean, you see so many junior, like, I don't say junior, I think it's juniors when it works. The moment it doesn't work, it becomes foolishness. So many important coaching parts that you've seen in Man United play and has been leading them to wins. I think their last game against Leicester has had a team with the most XG in a match in the league so far. So it's showing that the players really understand what it's trying to do. They're able to create so many chances and they have a guy that is informed, that is being able to convert it. So, yeah, good, really good situation for Ten Hag right now.
Okay. Jesse, a lot of people have said United are in the title race and everything. Do you think United are in the title race?
I think this is clear what my opinion is. I've said this many times. I believe Man United are entitled to it because they are still. I don't know how many points they have behind Arsenal right now,
5.
but
It's
it's
game
still 5 points.
Yeah.
And considering the way Arsenal have been, they have been in in and out of form lately. I still believe they can still drop points this season. There are some more points that they can drop. I know those three against City is not their own points. I've said it before. I said it. Those are points that are not. They are still going to drop. So yeah, and I guess we'll still talk about the game against Aston Villa. But you can see the Arsenal are having their you can see there are some chinks in the armor. And yeah, I can see Man City as well. They have had their run with inconsistencies because they were able to beat the league leaders a week. No, I don't even think it's up to a week, a few days before, and then they struggle to beat Nottingham Forest. They concede funny goals, and Haaland missing all this stuff. So yeah, I feel like based on form right now, United are the most solid team in the Premier League. And if you say that the most solid team that is 5 points behind the league leaders cannot challenge for the title, you'd be crazy to say that. So yeah, I believe I definitely in the title race.
Okay. So GB, let's go to Man City. What is wrong with Man City? Because the beats Arsenal, everybody's saying Man City are back on top. They're not leaving this top place, and then they go and they draw in Nottingham Forest. What do you think the problem is at City?
Well, when I beat Arsenal, I was carried away. I remember talking with Kay, and I was like, our winning run starts from now. And I was like, this team is saying doesn't think there's any winning run. Like, yeah, it's a lie. Just 2 I think I was carried away. But the match against Nottingham Forest, to be honest, I think it's the kind of results we have every season. But the thing is, it's just coming at the wrong time. Like at the time that we really need to compete with Arsenal. We usually have this kind of game every season where we miss loads of chances, and then we concede in the last minute, and then we play a draw. We usually have it almost every season, right? But I think it's coming at the wrongest time ever, because right now we cannot afford to drop points. But I mean, yeah, we beat Arsenal some days ago. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so we beat Arsenal some days ago. I think one of our best performances of the season. I'd also maybe Arsenal also made some few errors that led to some of our goals. But I mean, you wouldn't get the reward of those errors if you're not playing well in the first place. If Arsenal were comfortable, they won't be making errors. That's what I think. So yeah, and now we draw points against Nottingham Forest. It's, to me, right, it's one of those results that I'm never angry about, because the performances, we created so many chances. Haaland was like surprisingly wasteful. I mean, and Foden was surprisingly wasteful too. So it happens. I think it's one of those games that we lose a lot of chances, but it's just at the wrong time. Like the timing is just so wrong. After beating the league leaders, and they will go ahead to drop point at Nottingham Forest house. I mean, it's just normal result, but wrong timing.
Yeah, I think we should talk about City and Arsenal together. So, okay, when Arsenal drops, when City beats Arsenal, I mean, I'm very sure your confidence must have dropped, and every time you thought, oh, okay, City will go on this run and win. But then when you see that you win and then City has to win and they fail to win, does that give you more confidence that, oh, this season might be your season? Okay. Okay.
What did you say? Sorry.
I said this what was I saying again? I said Man City, when they beat you, I'm very sure your confidence must have been low, must have dropped. And then during the weekend, you win your game and you think, oh, okay, Man City are still going to win because they're playing against Nottingham Forest. Yeah, you expect Man City to go on this run. When you see them draw, does that give you more confidence to say, oh, okay, this season might be our season and we might actually win this league?
Well, concerning my confidence, I don't think it was that down, because based on what the discussion I had with GB minutes after the match, he was okay. I think he already said that himself now. He was all over the moon.
Yeah.
Like, our run starts here and all that. I'm like, I'm not just seeing this Man City team picking up any run. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know about the confidence. I don't know if it was good or not. And even right here, I've always admitted to it. Like, I don't still see us winning the league. I prefer to just think about finishing in the top four first before thinking about the league. So them drawing after I won, them now drawing their match against Nottingham. Yes, it's looking like maybe the stars are just aligning for us to win the league and all that. But still, I don't want to get carried away. But yes, I'll be lying if I say I'm not thinking about that in a way, because this is the kind of match you feel like immediately Man City had Arsenal won their match. You expect them to dismantle Forest. So them not winning the match after missing a whole lot of chances. It's just looking like the world just wants you to win this thing. Yeah, it's looking like that. I'll be lying if I say I don't feel that way. But I'm still not getting carried away, because this is still Man City. Man City can always go on a crazy run at any time. But yeah, seeing them drawing that match filled me with kind of vibe of you can actually do this way. Yeah, I will lie about that.
Okay, Jesse, so Arsenal's next 5 games in Premier League are against Leicester, Everton, Bournemouth, Fulham, and Crystal Palace. And why City's next 5 games are in Premier League. Talking about Premier League only. Bournemouth, Newcastle, Crystal Palace,
West Ham,
and West Ham, and Liverpool. So when you look at it, it looks like Arsenal's next 5 fixtures are more favorable and everything. So when you see the two teams, do you believe that Arsenal could take away this title from Man City, or are you still like, oh, Man City are better than them and they're going to win this league?
Well, to be honest, Arsenal have, for them to be in that position, you have to give them their respect. When it comes to
What did you say?
Jimmy, what did you say?
I never thought I would see this day.
I mean, fair play to them. Even though it pains me that he's our own player, the won that game for
you can't
them.
blame that he has spent half of this season 18. Nothing we want to do.
I'll me, I'm a truthful person. I'll say it as it is. Yeah, you guys have tried for being in that position to even challenge City, because this cannot be happening before. Arsenal normally starts, losing games beginning of the season. They go on a run middle of the season, and then they start losing games we get toward the end. Well, yeah, now that they are in that position to actually challenge Man City, we have to give them their respect for them being there. But I mean, what can I say again? I still feel that Man City is Man City's title to lose, personally, because they know that they have that second game against Arsenal in their own house, and they've already beaten Arsenal at the Emirates. So they should not be losing to Arsenal in their own house, personally, knowing the stakes of what is what they have to the stakes of that match. So yeah, I feel like it's still Man City's lose, and they have a much greater goal difference. I feel like they're able to concentrate, because there's still the factor of all this stuff that are happening around the club, and a lot of their European games. Do they go for the FA Cup? Do they go for the Champions League? Because they're still in the Champions League. So it's just that's the only factor that I feel will affect them. But at this moment in time, I think that Man City have the advantage.
Okay. GB, so if you were Pep now, if you were Pep now, if you're a Pep advisor, what would you be advising him to change, and what would you like to see more often that he does?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know where exactly the issue is with this squad. I think before, to be honest, in the past 4 or 5 games, I've been impressed with our performances. I wouldn't lie. I think Nottingham Forest, like I said, is just that kind of game that we usually have, to be honest. I mean, I think once you're a team that you are like a possessive-minded team, you like create a lot of chances. There will be a game or two that you will create loads of chances and then you won't score. And all of a sudden, the opponent gets a game and it's their home ground. I think the defending for the Nottingham Forest goal was very stupid anyway. But they get a goal, sorry, and then 1-1, and you're like, what happened? How come we didn't? And even the goal we scored was not our it's and the receiver scoring is like how many times do you get to see that in a season? When a receiver scoring is from outside the box. Like you don't get to see that. So yeah, it's one of those games. And I think our performances has been okay. I think so. I think we've been good. I wouldn't change anything. I think when it comes to Pep, when he overthinks on his rights, the juniors, when he doesn't, then it's overthinking. So yeah, you have to keep on going. Like Pep usually says in his press conference, keep on. One thing I just like about Man City is over the years we're always there, right? Even though we win, we don't win, we're always there. First, second, we're there. Like we're just trying to stay around because if there is a chance, then we can win, right? So and if there's no chance, congratulations to the winners. That's fine. We'll go again next season. But the most important thing is we're always there, like first, second, always around there. So I think that's just the case this season. We just keep trying to be always there, not too far, not too far away. Such a position like one game win, and everybody's like, all their back, that kind of always there mentality. That's what I just want to keep saying because Arsenal is a very good side right now, and we just need to be always there. And if there is the chance for us to grab, then we do. That's just it.
Okay. Okay. So if you were Arteta's advisor, to what would you want him to change, and what would you want to see?
Change, really. Anything I want to change in that team because believe me, nobody. I'm not sure there's anybody. Probably maybe just Arteta and his coaching crew and the players. I don't think there's anybody that saw us now being in this position before the season starts. So I feel like for me, I'm going to trust the man that put us in that position instead of trying to advise him to change anything. I guess I would just trust him, allow him to do his magic.
Okay.
That is what I think I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to change anything. I'm not going to change anything. Let the team just play it out, enjoy the season as it is going. And at the end of the season, we'll see where we end up at.
Okay, so we've spoken about the top 6 of Premier League and we're getting to the conclusion of these shows. But before we could, let's just give our score predictions for tomorrow Champions League matches and Wednesday and Thursday Europa League match between Man and Barcelona. Tomorrow Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Jesse, what's your scoreline?
As much as I'm a Madrid supporter, I believe that Liverpool will win. Are Liverpool playing at home or away?
Yeah, at Anfield. At Anfield. What's the first leg?
Yeah, I feel definitely Liverpool would win.
We're doing tomorrow.
But yeah, I think they'll win tomorrow. I think they'll win 2-1.
2-1. Okay, GB, what about you?
Personally, I think Real Madrid just some way, somehow, always get to beat Liverpool, no matter the occasion.
Yeah.
So I think Liverpool again tomorrow. So yeah, that's what I think.
Okay. Score prediction. Okay. Okay. So let's move on to Frank. Okay, KK,
I see Madrid beating Liverpool also.
Okay, so your score prediction.
Yeah, I'm here.
I said your score prediction.
I said Madrid beating them. I don't know what.
Okay.
Maybe a 2-1 win for Madrid.
Okay. Yeah. GB, Frankfurt versus Napoli. Your score prediction, and please just give us a little.
4-0. Because a little what?
A little. Just talk about Osimhen.
I mean, what can we say about Napoli? There are how many points clear? I mean, Serie A is in shambles right now, by the way. Napoli has been doing very good for themselves. I mean, if you watch them play, you just really know how good they've been. And Osimhen, yeah. I mean, when the team is playing well and the striker is playing well, It's obvious. I mean, it's a very similar case to Rashford and Man United. The team is playing well, and then this guy is in form. He's getting the goals. He has scored all his goals inside his box. Inside the box, this is I think 18 of them. So I think it shows how much his positioning has improved. I think he's a very good player. Like I think we all know that. And I think the main guy, Cavaradona, whatever.
Maradona.
GB. I was going to give Jesse to talk about that guy. Now you're stolen his shine.
That's okay. No, I'm not going to talk much about him. There's nothing much to talk about except the fact that is astounding, and the entire team is playing well. It's very good. I think it's very good for us to say Serie A team play well. The last time Napoli played this well was under Sarri, and that time Juventus were still on top, like we're on top of their game. And even though Higuain scored how many goals that season, 36, 37, sort of like that, they were still unable to win.
38, I think.
Yeah, can you imagine? So he literally smashed everything. But they were not able to win the league. Giorgio that time was on fire, I think. But this season is different. Juventus has been hit. Like the Serie A is in shambles, like to be honest. And Napoli is just the only good thing there. So yeah. And thank God. Now, one thing I'm also happy for Napoli is they're not really a selling club because their owner is a crazy guy. You cannot just come and get his players. It's going to make you smell hell. So I think that's one thing that I'm really happy about, that they're not going to go ahead and sell everybody that they have. So except you are trying to pay the absolute best, like the absolute highest money for them. So I think it's good. Among very many crazy things happening, one person is playing.
Yeah. Okay. Jesse. Napoli, Frankfurt versus Napoli, and just a little talk about Maradona.
So basically, I think that Napoli are going to win tomorrow, definitely. I'll go for 3-0. And as for Kvaratskhelia, I remember when I was talking to you, so normal name. I remember I was talking to you, Will, and then we were talking about if Napoli could potentially face Man City. And I told you that there's a possibility Napoli can beat Man City, and you were laughing for so long. But I will just tell you that the way that team is playing, especially that Kvaratskhelia, the connection he has with Osimhen.
This guy is just flogged at this stage, at this point. You're just flogged.
I think if you watch that game very well, he always knows where, like, areas in which Osimhen is going to occupy, and he has the ability to find him in those areas. And when he doesn't want to find Osimhen, he has the ability to take on a strike on his own. So I think that him coming off that left wing is going to be a danger for a lot of defenses. So I feel like with him and Osimhen can stay fit together, they can really go far in the Champions League. Like, and if they potentially face Man City, no offense to UGB, but I feel like they'll beat Man City at this point in time. So yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, score prediction for that one too. Okay. GB.
I see Napoli winning, like everybody. I see Napoli winning 4-0.
Okay. GB. Leipzig versus Man City. You said it was free
smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing.
Free qualification.
So what's your score prediction going into tomorrow's match?
Leipzig and City.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we should win.
Oh, wow.
GB, no. GB, no. GB, no.
Don't worry, we'll definitely win. I think Haaland and they've always been good friends. I think Haaland that is best. Scoring all those Haaland Champions League stuff. So yeah, I think we might have a chance at winning the Champions League this season. I think we would win it.
Okay. City fan getting cocky again for Champions League. So what's your score prediction? GB.
Okay, you're still with me.
Mm.
Leave me and my score prediction. I don't know. Maybe 2-0. It's going to be a high scoring match. We cannot keep a clean sheet. It's impossible. I think it's going to be like 3-1, 4-2. Like that. Last time we played, it was like 6-3. Oh, yeah. I think one idiot on Kukubo is back. I don't know.
Jesse, what about you?
To be honest, I know that Leipzig are a good attacking team. They still have my boy Timo. Timo is a good attacker. They have that pace that they can attack people. I think Ogunko is back in training, so I'm not sure if he's going to start tomorrow. So yeah, they have like decent attackers, but I just feel like Man City will still be too much for them. So I feel like overall Man City will go through, but I'm not sure about tomorrow's match because Man City don't look like they are as serious as they can be. So maybe I'll go for a draw tomorrow, maybe 2-2.
Okay, so Inter versus Porto. Jesse, your score prediction.
I mean, I don't know what Porto are still doing in Champions League, but
apparently they topped that group.
that was Atletico's group. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Well, like I've been saying since the beginning of this show, let's give people their credits for being where they are. But I don't see them beating Inter in any way. I think that Inter will win comfortably, maybe like 3 or 4-0 tomorrow.
Jimmy, what about you?
It's going to be tougher. I think it's going to be tougher. Yeah, I think they're going to play a draw. I don't think it ain't like an exceptionally good form. I think Lukaku is back. I think he scored during the weekend.
Yeah, he scored a penalty.
A penalty.
They have to take it. They have to retake itself.
That guy is not good for shit.
Well, I mean, like he is always saying, Champions League form is different from league form. And in the Champions League, they've been playing well. They've been playing really well. They were unlucky to lose to Bayern. So,
GB, so your score prediction?
I think now that this guy said Champions League form is different from league form, I think I'll still go for a draw. Maybe a 1-1.
1-1 draw. So now let's talk about the match of the week: Manchester United versus Barca.
So Liverpool Madrid are not playing tomorrow, or what's going on?
Match of the week.
GB, what's the score prediction for that one? Who do you think is going through?
I don't know who's going to go through because they look so evenly matched. So, like from that first leg, they look so evenly matched. To be honest.
I mean, no Pedri, no Gavi.
I don't want Man U. I don't want Man U to win. Oh God, I'm just sad as Man U.
GB, I'm sorry, you can't play Alonso and win. I'm sorry. You can't play Marcos Alonso at left back and win. I'm sorry.
To be honest, like Man U fans are just so many, and they're just so happy, and it's just so annoying. They're just seeing it everywhere. Like I cannot escape it. Oh, I miss the times where you post your lineup and then at the end you just put it's a shame we lost. But now, when you guys are posting your lineups and then you're just next thing I just say Rashford pointing to his head. I'm like, oh God, this guy again. What's this guy's problem? I mean, every time I just this guy points to his head, I'm like, what's the problem? I'm so happy. I want you guys to lose. The hatred is so high. I like forget. I want you guys. Man, you're going to lose tomorrow 2-0. Like I don't even want to know.
Okay, Jesse, how about you?
I'm sorry, man. You're not playing Old Trafford to back and lose. No way, no way. And I mean, Barca are decent, but they looked like even in that match against in Camp Nou, they still look like they could have considered more goals. It's just that United were, they were not taking their chances accurately. But I think if they come to Old Trafford, no, I feel like Man U is going to win. And I have this feeling that it's going to be convincing. I think that Man U will beat them 3-0. Because I said it, I did tell you, the other time. I told you that Man U were not going to win at Camp Nou, but they were going to win at Old Trafford. And I still stand by that. And I'm sure, I feel like they will beat them 2-0.
No Pedro, no Gavi. That's why I'm confident. So I'm going to say 2-0. But then we've come to the end of this show, and Jesse and GB, thank you for coming. K couldn't stay, but K, thank you for coming. To all of you that have come to watch you, so thank you. So GB, any sign off?
Not exactly. Lovely to be here.
Mhm.
Nice again. Nigeria is such a terrible state right now, and yeah, we just need to get everything fixed.
Okay, Jesse, what about you?
Yeah. Yeah, this show was really nice. And yeah, this was a great time. And hopefully we're able to be consistent to be bringing more videos. And also before we go, I'd just like to send my condolences to Christian's family.
Yeah.
We just heard about his passing away from the earthquake that happened in Turkey. So yeah, it's a shame because he was a really good player.
Yeah, condolences to Cristiano and everybody affected in Turkey. So before we go, all United fans, please, if you're watching this, if we beat Barca, please don't forget to message. I'll try and drop GB's Instagram page down. So please don't forget to message him and taunt him very well. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
What should happen if you lose?
I ended the stream.
You will not drop my Instagram.